Party people in the place to be. What's up, y'all? How we feeling? How we feeling? Happy Tuesday. Let's let our IG folks in on the party. What's up? What's up? What's up? Who we got in the building? Who we got? Who we got? Tibia! Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, how are you, my friend? Linson's in the building. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all ready for the holiday? We getting ready. We getting prepared. We having a good week so far. Oh, I'm so happy to hear. I'm so happy to hear. I'm good, my dear. I'm good. I'm good. What's up, IG? Hey, Tom Tom. What's up? What's up, LaCheryl? What's up, Cheryl? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all ready for the holiday? Yeah, anybody going anywhere fun, doing anything? Or we just chilling? We just chilling? We just hanging out at the house? No work? Hanging with family, friends, loved ones? Nothing exciting? I'm just chilling myself. I'm just chilling. Well, listen, we have to talk about this. We're talking about you chilling too? Yeah, Lindsay said, I'm ready. Lindsay said, I am ready. Tiffany said, chilling. What y'all doing over there? Good evening, Tom. Good evening. She said, all that. Just chilling. Yeah, all that. I hear you. All that. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Me as well. Just chilling. Listen, today, we're talking about the pay predicament. We're talking about this wage compression. And I know we've all experienced this, right? We've all experienced having someone externally come into the job and we find out that they're making more right? And we're like, what's up with that? What's going on? What's happening? How can that happen? They hire someone out on the street that's brand new, and you have all these tenured employees that's currently working there, and they come in making more. What is going on with that? How many have you all had that happen before? Have you had that happen before? I even trained someone, y'all. I've trained someone. Lady Low, hey. Listen, I've trained somebody that she was a temp. I'll never forget. She was a temp, trained her. She literally took over my little old job. Yes, Tivia said yes. Have you ever had someone come in from the outside, externally, come into your company, maybe even done the same work as you, sat right next to you in the same row in the cubicles, and they make more money than you? It's hard to work like that. It's super hard to work like that. They call that wage compression. You'll hear salary compression as well. There's also something called salary inversion, and that's basically when you make more than your manager or your leadership. But we're going to talk about wage compression and some of the ways we can combat that and how we can get ahead of that as well. I want to share with you. I want to ask you a question, though. Let me ask you this question. Tom says, most definitely. I know we've all had that experience, but let me ask you this. Let's say you scroll in the job boards, right? Or you're looking for a job. I was going to say reading the paper, looking for a job. See how old school I am? The classified. You scroll in the job board. Let's say you looking for your job, right? Your title. You know what it is you do. You're looking for your title. Let's say you come across 2 jobs. I want to see what y'all say. 2 jobs, right? They have your title. The first job says the pay for this is $150,000. And you read the job description and you can do some of the skills on there. It's a startup company, not well known. And the second job says is a more established company. It's a company we all know and love. And you can do most of what the job description says. You have most of the skills that align with the job description, but they don't show the pay. Which one are you going to spend more time on? Meaning, which one are you going to apply for? Which one is going to make you apply? Is it the one that says, we're going to pay you $150,000, we're a startup, and you look at the job description and you have some of the skills? Or are you going to go for the job description that's with a well-known company and you have most of the skills on the job description, but they didn't put the pay? Which one would you apply for? Robin, 1 or 2? What's up, lady? 1 or 2? The one that shows the job description, the pay, or the one that doesn't? Which one are you gonna, 1 or 2? Which one are you gonna spend time on? Researching and applying and potentially even accepting an interview? Tivia says 1. She's gonna go for the one that has the pay on it. What y'all say? What say you? Okay, Vitae Career says the startup, the first one. What's up, Clifford? Clifford said 1. Robin said 1. Okay. Thomas said, but it seems as though, my time has come. What's going on? Okay, Thomas says 2. I'm going for the established job. Vitae's Career says needs more research for sure. Okay. Clifford says 1. Listen says 1. Elizabeth, go for the more money. And when they close down, go to the well-established one. Okay. So Elizabeth says 1, 2 to start and then go with the other one. So it seems like most people would go for the one that shares the salary, right? So even though it's a startup, even though you have some of the skills and not all, you're going to spend most of the time on the job description, on the employer who posted the pay, right? So we're all pretty conditioned, right, to think about and to be mindful of what they pay. Now, I'm going to ask that same question at the end of this. So remember your answer. Let me share my screen. I want to show something. If you're on IG and you want to see my screen, run over to YouTube. Let me know when you get here. Run over to YouTube. Let me show you something. Let's share something. So I want y'all to listen to this. Let me go ahead and share my screen. We're talking today about the pay predicament. We're talking about wage compression. And basically when someone comes in externally off the street, we don't know who they is. They coming in and they're working with tenured employees. They sit right next to you. Same row, same cubicle, right? But they make more than you. What do we do about that? Why does that happen? That's called wage compression. You'll also hear salary compression as well. All right, let's talk a little bit more about this. Here we go. Here we go. I always get confused with this. I do not know why. I do not know why. Take a listen.
According to the New York City Commission on Human Rights, the salary listings must have a maximum and a minimum and will be based on the good faith of the employer. In other words, what the employer honestly believes they would pay for someone hired for that position. Critics of the new law say it makes it harder for companies to offer competitive salaries or to diversify their workforces. But others say it's a win and that there's nothing wrong with a little pay transparency. Here's CNBC's Julia Borski.
Do you like it? I love it.
Hannah Williams runs Salary Transparent Street. She asks random strangers a very personal question.
I'm in cybersecurity.
How much do you make?
Around 85K a year.
I'm in tech sales. How much do you make? I'm between like 70 and 80K.
I'm a hydraulic engineer.
And how much do you make?
Yearly, about 130,000.
I try to remove the taboo about talking about pay.
The content she shares has drawn more than 1.5 million followers across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
People are using the information that we share on our page really to advocate for themselves. They're realizing that they have to educate themselves on market research. They have to look up their salary and look up their job title and their salary and do the research to find out how much they should be making. So really, we're just putting that education and empowerment in their hands.
New pay transparency laws in New York City and California, and those already in effect in Colorado, will impact 1 in 6 U.S. workers, according to PayScale.
Now, this has already taken place. This is an older video, but I'm going to play just the first 10 seconds again, and I want to see if you notice something. I want you to listen very carefully to what he says now, and I want to see if you all notice what I noticed.
According to the New York City Commission on Human Rights, the salary listings must have a maximum and a minimum and will be based on the good faith of the employer. In other words, what the employer honestly believes they would pay for someone hired for that position.
Now, check this out. Before we get out of this screen, I want y'all to remember what he said now. And some of you, because you shared this with me, have seen this already, although it has now been a law that's passed. This happened back in November, I think November 1st to be exact, for New York. They have to post the salary range. Now, you may have seen that. Look at this third paragraph. Many businesses may post wide ranges in order to show they're open to applicants of varying years of experience. Others, worried, we're talking about employers, about losing out on talent, are widening their pay bands to make sure they can pay competitively in a tight hiring market. Better to err on the side of a broad range than create an artificially narrow range. This is what they're saying. Others say wide ranges, like those nearing the 6-figure mark, would only cause more confusion and friction. The spirit of the law is to create transparency, and any company having large salary ranges like that doesn't create any transparency. Now, y'all heard what he said, right? He said that employers can post a good faith salary range. Did y'all hear that? Hey, Susan. Hey, Derek. Hey, Teresa. Did y'all hear that? That's important, y'all. We're talking about wage compression. We're wondering why people coming in the job, they're making more to us, and you've been there longer than they have. You've been doing the job longer than they have. Did you hear what he said? He said employers, the law states that you have to post a salary range on the job description. Okay, That's fine. We'll post it. Have you seen some of those job descriptions that say 50,000 to 175,000? That's a wide range. Why are they doing that? Susan said, yes. Oh, that's a wide range, y'all. And we talked about this. We had a segment about this. We talked about this last year, you all remember? We're talking about wage compression. We're talking about when people apply for those jobs and they see that salary range, even though they see it, right? They're coming in asking for the moon. And you've been sitting there for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years. They coming in making $10, $20, $30, $40,000 more than you. The key thing he said, you all, although the law says we have to post the salary range, they didn't tell us how much. Let me show you this. Let me find it. Let me find it. In good faith, right? That's what he said. He said posting it in good faith. And I'm going to show this to you so it's not a Kelly said. This is what they're saying, employers. Let me show you. We're talking about wage compression and why people are coming in off the streets making more. How can they do that? That's not what the salary band says when I got into the job. Employers, check it out. This is important. Employers can still pay above or below what's listed. So we're thinking, look, you got to post a salary. California, Denver, others. But there's always a loophole, y'all. Employers can still pay above or below what's listed, while employers must list salary ranges for every job posting. It's still possible that they could end up paying the final candidate above or below. Y'all see it, it's right here. What's advertised. Here's what the law says. The law does not say anything that would prohibit the employer from, at some point in the process, concluding they need to change the compensation. If in fact, along the way, you've interviewed, you've pre-screened, you're on the first round, you're on the second round, third round. Oh my gosh, Teresa, she is the bomb. We got to pay her more. Oh my gosh, Clifford does not have the skills that we need. We're going to pay him. We can pay him less than what the salary range says. But in your mind, you're thinking about leaving your current job based off of the salary range. You went ahead and applied because of the salary range. If in fact, along the way, there's a legitimate, non-discriminatory business reason to change the pay, here it is, y'all. The employer is free to do that under this law. This is the law that's called the transparency law. They have to share the salary range. But this law also says, listen, they're free to put whatever they want on there. They can put $100 to $500. For example, the business could realize the scope of the job falls into a lower level and lower paying range. On the flip side, a standout candidate could negotiate or be offered a starting salary above what was previously listed. Now, there is some protection though. There are some parameters, and it says employers should make sure any such instances are an outlier and not part of a pattern. So saying if they continue to do this, then something up, then y'all gotta chill out because this ain't cool. What we think about that? Hey, Janelle! Hey, Lindsay said, I've seen those a lot lately. Aren't they wrapped? They're out there. They're out there. Derek said, what? I knew Derek, he is like the scholar, y'all. I know what constitutes good faith on their part, and can we verify? We don't know what their budget is. It's almost like saying, I'm gonna put forth good faith, like when you get ready to buy your house, and you put the good in, you put it in that good faith and good earnest money, in good faith, we're gonna post this salary range. So potentially we may pay you somewhere in between here. Maybe. Let's see how you do in the interview. Thomas says sometimes a wide range based on experience level. Janelle said in recruiting, we always posted the salary, which varied depending on where the candidate was located. I don't even like that, Janelle, though, to be honest, because we're working remote. I could be in Alaska and still recruit. Right? And if I'm in California and I'm working here, Coca-Cola's here in Atlanta. Right? And so I want to look, to your point, Derek, I want to look at the salary range. This is what they posted. Now, I will say, for the most part, employers do put what the range is for the role, for the most part. But we've all seen that wide range, and we've all asked, why is it so wide? Like Susan would say, yeah, I've seen it. Right? So what should we do? And Janelle just gave us a clue. Janelle said, listen, y'all, we do this. This is what we do. It's based on where we're located, on where the candidate's located sometimes. So if you go in, I remember this guy did, he was sharp. I mean, he was on point. He knew where he lived, what the cost of living was. There's a difference between the cost of living and cost of goods. He knew exactly what his skill and his education in the market, what that dictated, what he should be able to get. I'm sharing this, right, so that you'll know, just because it's out there, y'all remember the good faith. You saw it here. So you have to know going in what you want. And you do your research in the market. We're talking about solutions, and we're talking about how do we combat this? Somebody off of the street coming in, sitting right next to me, next to the cubicle next to me, making $10,000, $20,000 more. We're doing the same thing. I work the same thing. They doing their research, right? They know now what the industry and what the market is saying is the industry standard. Now, the other thing to think about is even internally, right? And I'm sure Janelle can speak to this as well about internal equity. I remember a guy, and it was really sad. It was really sad. I remember we all got like a title. We got a new title and we got increase. He didn't. And he even started before I did, and 2 others. It's just that our boss didn't like him. There was no reason for that man not to have gotten an increase. And he went to HR, he complained and all the things. I mean, it took a couple years, but it happens. And I'm sure that there are companies, a lot of them, that have the internal equity challenges as well. Maybe the compensation bands haven't been updated in years. Janelle said, for example, one position could pay higher for a candidate in California versus someone living in Iowa. That's true. That's very true. And I can see that. I can see the reason why from the perspective of an employer. I get that. I do get that. Derek says, good faith on the employer's behalf sounds like every horror movie. I'm hearing I'll be right back on the Freddie. Yeah, it's I think it's horrible that they get to choose. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay, yeah. The law said we got to put something out here, so we'll put something out here because we following the law, right? But if Janelle come in here and she's super, she on top of it, we're gonna go, higher than the range. Well, in that case, Susan would apply. If she knew y'all was paying 150, she thought y'all was just paying up to 125, like the range said on the job description. Had she known, she would have applied. So that's why when I say, you know your number, you do your research, you know what your skills, and if you don't, you should know what your skills, right, can get in the market right now. If you've had the same title for 7 years, you've been at the same employer for 7 years, and you haven't gotten an increase, have you even looked out there to see? In the market, there's all kind of, I have a salary calculator that I give for free. You look on my little link thing, wherever we're connected at, and it'll tell you where you live, what the market is paying, what you do, your titles, your skills. It'll give you a number. And you may be shocked. You may be shocked. Just like this lady. Let me show you. You may be shocked. This is what I mean by staying on top of your career, staying on top of what it is that you do and what you know. Check this out. This New York City worker saw her job title advertised at up to $90,000. Y'all, not $9, not 90, not 9,000. $90,000 more than her pay. What to do if this happens? Kimberly, in March, the New York City worker went viral on Twitter when she saw an opening for her job title being advertised with a pay range up to $90,000 higher than her own salary. This 25-year-old CNBC said she earned $85,000 as a contract user experience writer for Citi, but the LinkedIn posting called for a full-time UX writer with a salary of $117,000 to $175,000. She applied for the job, but ultimately the discovery prompted her to start looking for a new one. So it sounds like she didn't get it, but knowing what's out there and what they're offering for her role, she's like, okay, wait a minute. Is this what they paying for what I'm doing? And all she did, y'all, was go out there and what? She looked. As you can see here, salary transparency laws across the country in effect for Colorado, New York City, California, and other areas. All she did was look. How many of us have done that? How many of us have just looked, even if we're not looking for an opportunity? What are they paying in other companies? Elizabeth said that can have a negative effect on the morale. Absolutely. It has. It has. Absolutely. Absolutely. Susan said, is it wrong to ask them what the range is for? No, you should. Absolutely. Absolutely, Susan. It is. You have to, you want to know. You want to know. You want to know what the range is. Right? Tom said, some same as salaries in high rent cities like DC. Yeah, that's true. And DC is known for being high, like New York and California, like Janelle was saying. Lesson said pay range based on location sounds discriminatory and pride. I don't know, for some reason I can't wrap my head around that. Like, I get it because I did it. I understand that. I know. I totally understand it. But I'm thinking about now. Think about right now. That should have changed. Why are employers still doing that? I know people working in Russia for AT&T. You know what I'm saying? Like how? Like that's the, I just can't. Y'all help me. I can't wrap my mind around. I get it. I understand the different regions and the cost of living. I understand that. But how can you dictate what you're going to pay somebody? I just think it should be based off skills. I could be wrong. It won't be the first time. Derek said another perspective of employers is from the complacent employees versus upwardly mobile. What overall potential value does this person have? So you're saying to base it off of potential value versus someone who has or is exhibiting their value. Or are you saying someone that's coming in on the out from the off the streets, right? That we don't know what their performance is. We don't know how they work. We don't know how they perform or what skills. Because I remember I told y'all last year we did a topic about high potentials. And people, when they were laying off, and there's this list that every HR has about high potentials and high performers. But these are people that have performed and have proven themselves. Right? And Elizabeth says the problem with leaving for money is the fact it will take longer to be able to build towards retirement. That's true. That's very true. And everybody's goals are different. Everybody's goals. Some can leave for more money if they don't see themselves making the money that they know that they're going to need for the future. And here's the I think it's the truth. The fact is, you're not going to become wealthy working. Just how many of us have seen our parents work and just got wealthy? They may have been comfortable or stable, right? So going somewhere to increase your salary, to increase your financial future, it may be some people's best option. Tivia said, I constantly check. I encourage you all just to see. I talked to a lady, what was it, Monday? Yeah, no, yesterday, right? Yeah, Monday. And we went out there and we looked at different titles. And some of the titles never heard of, never ever heard of before. But they did the work that she's doing right now. And they paid a heck of a lot more. But if you don't look, you don't know. You could be sitting there doing your job and not knowing the market is paying just like that lady, $90,000 more, and you do the same work. But I know what Elizabeth is saying. Like, I have to build my money for the future. So I don't know if I want to make a move or not. Robin said, when my current role asked in the application stage for salary requirement, I put the highest number of the range. I was confident enough to do so because of, oh, don't make me cry. Look at that, y'all. Y'all know y'all know how we roll in here. I can't even get my words together. There you go, girl. There you go. There you go. What y'all doing, IG? What y'all doing? Derek said, I check salaries whenever possible. The problem is being comparable between regions. True. That's true, because you can only go on what they put out there, right? But if you go to a pay scale, like that was on that article I shared with you, I think it's payscale.com. You can also go to Glassdoor. I have a salary calculator in my bio thing. Just download it. Thomas said it is based on skills. The cost of living part draws the top talent. That's true. But, thinking about, I remember this guy came in. Oh, it was a horrible situation. Our boss was out on sick leave, and her boss went and hired this guy, came in, contractor. We like, what's going on? They made, long story short, he ended up becoming our manager, and he couldn't even attach a document in an email. Literally had to go to his computer and show him how to attach a document to an email. And he literally made about $50,000 more than me. Literally. We didn't get asked. The job wasn't posted. And I know y'all have dealt with this as well. We're talking about pay compression, y'all. Wage compression. How do you feel somebody come in off the street? I'll tell you another incident. We were sitting in a meeting, and we had different hubs in different locations. And one of them was in California. And on the screen, you can see, how the team sitting around the table in California, whatever. And one guy, when somebody pop up to speak, they come to the screen, right? And his title was different. And I remember looking at my friend, and I'm like, and she looking, when did his title change? When was the job posted? We talk about pay compression, y'all. We talk about wage compression, y'all. Things just happen. How many of us are having conversations when we see something that's not fair or equitable? Because people talk. People talk. Thomas said, wow. Derek said, an internal posting may be provided for current and tenured employees, but they may decide to hire externally and pay more, even with similar education experience. Make it make sense. I'm with you. I'm with you. And y'all know a trick? This is a trick. Some people, and I think Elizabeth, this is what you were saying, about thinking about leaving. It may be difficult for some because of thinking about their financial future. But here's a trick that people do. They'll leave and come back and get more. I've seen it happen. They left the current job that they were in. It was two of them. T, if she's still on here, she may know who I'm talking about. They left the current job, came back 6 months later, got $20,000 more. That's the quiet hierarchy. There you go. That's it. That's it. So what can we do, y'all? We want to talk about solutions. We know there's problems. We know employers, now we know, right, about good faith. They don't necessarily have to tell us the truth about what the pay range is, right? Our Wood over here on IG said, I did it too. See, they do that. They do that, don't they? Yeah. Janelle said, we actually started that back in December. I'd never seen that before working there. Yeah, it happens. So listen, you can figure out, the first thing I would want to know, right? If I was in that situation, is what does the industry, my industry, currently pay in the market today? I started 7 years ago. And I may or may not have gotten a 2% raise or 2.5% raise throughout those 7 years each year. Let me see what's out there and what they're paying. And here's the other thing, you all. And I was talking about my current client. We looked at these titles. We didn't even know these existed, right? She's in the healthcare field. I didn't know anything about the role. But when we started digging, we saw all of these titles. And if you go to attractopportunities.com, I just did a new training, and I'm showing you the method that I went through. But there's these different titles out there, y'all. And they're I talk about this in the training. They're relevant now. Let me see. What I'm saying is, your current title, if you've had it for some time, you may want to go out to the market and see if there's any other titles that align to what you do now. That's what I'm saying. And if so, look at the scope of work. Is it currently what you're doing? Does it have the skill set that you currently have, right? And then what is it paying? And if you say, well, Kelly, they're not a company that puts it on there, go to Glassdoor, go to salary.com, or go to Payscale. I think it's payscale.com. And from there, you can put your title in, and it'll give you different titles in the marketplace. You just want to see. I just want to see. Tom said, in a litigation support situation, you can hire people with various educational backgrounds. Okay. Elizabeth said that can be a future class, negotiating salaries. Yes. I have a lot of information. By the way, I just created a Patreon if y'all want to check that out. And I'm going to be putting in there. I already put a bunch of stuff in there. If you want to check it out, you can. Let me drop the link in there, because I can put, now that Elizabeth said that, that's something that I could put in there. Salary information. Negotiating salary. But tonight I really wanted to talk about, because I know people look at the salary ranges on job descriptions, and you may apply and you may not apply based off the salary range. And like Susan was saying earlier, yeah, I've seen that before. The ranges are wide and it doesn't make any sense. Just know that an employer, all they have to do is, in good faith, post some numbers in good faith. Right? Now, if you're currently in a situation where it's someone on the inside, internally, a coworker that you're working with, and let's say they got, I don't know, an increase, and you all do the same work. One of the things you want to be able to do is you want to be able to, well, let me back up. You want to do research, like I said, about the work that you're doing. You have to be able to speak to the value that you brought to an organization. We've talked about this before as well. And then you want to be able to schedule time with your manager or the person that you report to and talk about the value that you brought to the organization. Some of the achievements also that you brought to the organization, because sometimes they don't know, y'all. If you have a manager that has 18, 25, 30 people, even 10 direct reports, if you're not advocating for yourself, sometimes they don't know what you've done. They just expect you to do the work. That's what you're there for. They just expect you to do the work. But if you're not advocating and sharing what you've done, there are occasions when they don't know. And some people might say, well, they should know. They should know what I do. No, you should advocate for yourself. And if you're having check-ins, I know some may have weekly check-ins or quarterly or monthly check-ins. That's an opportunity for you to share the outcomes, share what you got involved in, share what happened as a result, share the value in it. If it did decrease something or increase something, specifically time or money. I was able to decrease time in XYZ. I was able to increase sales in XYZ or increase revenue in XYZ. I streamlined this process and it saves us X amount of time. So when it comes to your performance review, you can remind them when you and I met, we had our one-on-one back in November, I shared with you that I did XYZ. And you have documented each time you meet and you're writing down what you're going to share in that meeting, and you're keeping that for when it comes to your annual review. You can share all of these things. Why am I just getting a 1%? This actual process is still in play, and I created this or initiate this or organize this back in 2021. You have to advocate for yourself. Elizabeth said, is it safe to ask for a work audit in your current position to ask for more money, or will that move work in the opposite and decrease your salary? I love that, a work audit. I love that. I love that, Elizabeth. I believe so. Yes, I would definitely ask. I love that. I love that. I love that. And because I'll tell you, we used to have a repository of job descriptions that we would use year after year after year after year. They were so old and antiquated. We had this one title. I'd be thinking so fast, I'm trying to get it out. We had this one title called a system specialist. It's called a system specialist. We would post it and we would get this many job applicants. And we're like, nobody's applying. And the hiring managers would be mad, and like, recruiting ain't moving fast enough. They don't know what the heck that is. What does that mean? It wasn't an industry standard title. It wasn't a title that was in the marketplace, right? It would take a candidate, look at that title, and then go further down that job description to really get an idea of what the role entailed. But that was an internal title. Some of us may have an internal title, and we're so accustomed to it, we're not thinking about when we do want to make a transition, when we do want to make a move, when we get out there, I can't find anything. It's no longer called that. That's why. That's why going out there, just take a look once a month. I'm just going to take a look and see what's out there. I'm going to put in my skills, not just my title. I'm going to put in my skills and see what pops up. And then I'm going to read and say, you know what? I can do all of that. I didn't know it was called that. I had no idea. Yes, Elizabeth, I would definitely ask. And also ask about compensation. When is the last time they looked at the salary band? Is that something that you all do? That's a way to put it. Jay said, how do we get around the online application that requires we put in a salary requirement? It usually will not allow you to advance without filling it out. I put 0. That'll get you through the ATS system. If it says like 0 to 10 or 10 to 50 or 50 to whatever, you can just pick one. And I would tell the recruiter that, I had to pick one, but I didn't know what the job entails. Now that I know, I can give you what the range is for my salary expectations. Because without knowing, I could read the job description, right? But now that I know that I have a dotted line to the VP and I'm directly reporting to the manager and I'm responsible for X, Y, and Z, the job description didn't really spell that out. Now that I'm fully aware and I am clear on what the role entails, I just want to share with you, here are my salary requirements for this position. Janelle said, I've experienced that. Had to train a manager coming in. I was hot. I know. Oh, it was a bunch of us. Oh my gosh. That's like a slap in the face. It is a slap in the face. It's not like it is a slap in the face. You got people that's been there working hard. You just brought somebody in and made them a manager. Tom said, I have improved in that area, communicating and being consistent in process. If you don't advocate for yourselves, you all, and I know it's not something that we're accustomed to doing, I promise you, nobody else is going to do that for you. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, do you want to do this? Would you like to be promoted? A lot of the times you'll be surprised they don't know what you've done or accomplished because you don't say. And we have to get better about that. And I know, like I said, it's not the easiest thing to do. It's easy for me to just say what we should be doing, right? I know it's not the easiest thing to do. And having the language to verbalize your achievements and the value that you bring to an organization, there is a framework for that. And I'm happy if you want to speak about that, we definitely can. But you definitely should be doing that. And you'll be surprised. A lot of times your manager, the person you report to, they're not aware. They're not aware. And even in meetings, even though it may be uncomfortable, and we've talked about this as well, let your light shine. Let them know. Let them know. Derek said, last employer operated that way. There was a fully detailed job description, but when it came to our evaluation, they didn't utilize the job description. We were evaluated by the task we summarized. Yeah, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That's why all of these things, you all, you're welcome, Liz. That's why all of this, you are responsible for your career, right? We are responsible for career management, managing our careers and what it is that we want out of this thing called a career. Because you can have what you want. It may not seem as if, but we get whatever we believe. If we believe we can't have it, we're not going to go in there and ask for it. We'll have the mindset of, I've never done that, or I'm nervous, or I'm scared, or they're not going to give it to me. Kelly, you don't know my manager. You just don't know. I don't know, but I do know. If you don't ask, you don't know. I do know that. Jay said, I recently interviewed for an executive position that current staff were highly qualified to obtain. During the interview process, they advised they wanted to change the current culture of the staff. Now, I get that. I totally get that. And that, I think that's a good look. That's a good move because they recognize something. They recognize something about their culture. And it's going to be a lot of, I think Elizabeth was saying about the morale, or maybe it was Derek, about the culture when they bring in someone, right, to try to change it. I went to an event and the CEO of Wells Fargo. I was listening to him. He did a fireside chat. And, they were in the news for doing some really bad things, but he wasn't the CEO at the time. So they changed all of that. They changed leadership. They changed, and they're in the process now of changing that culture. And he said that, one of the questions asked to him was, how do you define culture? I thought this was just a brilliant response. I wrote it down, so I might butcher what he said. He said, how do you define culture? He said, culture is defined by the worst behavior that you allow. I thought that was brilliant. I just really thought that was brilliant. And he said, you'd be surprised. He said, right now, some of my direct reports, this is the residue from that old culture that they had. He said, you'll be surprised. Some of my direct reports still don't want to change. He said, as a matter of fact, one of my direct reports said, and this was in response to having a diversified talent pool, right? He said, you are putting me at a disadvantage by making me interview diverse candidates. He said, no. He said, the problem is you've always had an advantage. Oh, y'all, we went up in an uproar. We stood on our feet. We was hollering because that was good. He said, no, that's not true. He said, the problem is you've always had an advantage. He couldn't say nothing. I wrote that down. I wrote that down too. Because I deal with clients, right, in my agency. And when I talk about diversifying the talent pool, I find that I'm educating. But I thought that was you made me think about that, Jay, when you were talking about the culture. Lady Lowe said, my previous job, the HR director wanted me to start recruiting, but didn't want to give me more. Girl, see? Why they do that? Why do they do? Like Janelle was talking about last week, wearing all 4 of them hats. That's why I said it, Janelle, because I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. Good for you, though, Lady Lowe. Good for you. Good for you. Now, now, Lady Lowe, you got to get some more money, though. Because once you start doing it, it's just going to become a part of your job. Because they're trying to, you know what they say, get blood out of a turnip. We're trying to get more lean. We just want to, they want you to feel as though you're lucky you have a job. No, you're lucky you got me. That's what that is. Elizabeth said, I wrote a book for my review and I got exceptional. See there? Y'all see, proof is proof. Elizabeth is showing us when you advocate for yourself. She said she wrote a book. She said she wrote a book. Listen, she got exceptional. Y'all know, Janelle, Lady Lowe, it's hard for folks to get an exceptional. You get a meets, what is it, y'all? Meets requirement. But an exceptional? Go ahead, Elizabeth. Go ahead, girl. Oh no, you became the problem child just because you didn't want to take on more responsibility and they don't want to pay you for it. You see how they do? You see how they do? You take that skill though, Lady Lowe, and now you leverage that skill and you go use that skill to make you some more money. Because sometimes we have to think about, all right, I'm gonna be here for a minute. Like I think Elizabeth was saying, I'll be here for a minute. Because I got my retirement, I got all this stuff. But I'm gonna get this skill, but I'm gonna start looking because now I can recruit. I know how to do it now. And I know they pay X, Y, and Z because I've been out there looking. Take that skill. You always get something. You never lose. You're never rejected. You're never that. You either learn or you win. Either one. We never are rejected. We never lose, y'all. We either learn or we win. That's it. If they don't want us, you know what? Your loss. It wasn't meant for me. Thank you, God, for divine protection. Because I learned now, I just keep going. I'm just next in line. I just moved up in the line. When you're standing in the Starbucks line in your car, you just move up. Somebody else, right? That's how we got to think about it. We learn or we win. That's it. That's it. Thomas said, believing in yourself and your level of experience truly makes a difference. That's it. That's it. That's it. Q Creation said, that's deep. Quinn. That is deep. That was good, girl. That was good. Elizabeth said, lady, though, when we advocate for ourselves, they look at it as an attack on them. That's it. That they do. They do. They get intimidated. I know they're intimidated by y'all. Teresa said, wow, that's incredibly true. Culture is defined by the worst behavior. Ain't that deep, T? I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Lady Low said, wow. Linson said, true. Yeah, Jay said, I was honest in the interview. I said, it would have been a new sheriff in town situation, contentious. Yeah. Sometimes you need to shake it up, though. You know, sometimes culture's needed. Wells Fargo definitely needed. They didn't call me back either because I'm trying to get in as a staffing agency. They need some diversification over there. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Listen, real quick before I forget. Y'all see Teresa Richardson right there? That's our family right there. She is T, help me. She is it a contest? She's a great cook. Y'all need to go to her IG and look at her food. It will make you hungry. But she is, how do I say it? In a list for the greatest chef. We just need to go vote for it. Drop the link. We family. Drop the link, T. Drop the link. Now they're going to ask for donation. You can absolutely donate or you can do it for free. Up to you. But let's vote. Let's get her. She's family. We want her to come back next week and say, y'all, I made it #1. This is how we all, right, get blessed. It's reciprocated. When you put it out, when we help others, it's going to always come back. We sowing. Let's go vote for her. Drop the link, T, so we can go vote for you. I didn't vote it about 5 times now. Elizabeth said, if you think about it, most of these companies were established. Girl, don't you dare start, Elizabeth. Don't you start. If you think about it, most of these companies were established before the civil rights movement. Now we are on the scene. They do not know how to communicate with people of color. This is what don't you get me started. Elizabeth, don't you get me started. Lady Lowe said, yes, Elizabeth. Exactly. Derek said, I actually turned down a promotion because the current company culture wouldn't work under my type of leadership. Seniority members refuse any type of change. I don't do losing battles. Go ahead, D. I know that's right. And listen, you have to look at the culture, and it's hard to gauge, especially if you haven't worked there and you're interviewing and you want to work there. It's hard to gauge a toxic environment. I sent an email out, I think it was last week, saying how to gauge a toxic work environment, questions that you can ask. But yeah, like Jay said, a new sheriff in town, change is hard. And even if you're a peer, right? You have a peer-to-peer situation and you leave from being a peer to the manager. Now you have to manage. I had that situation. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Okay, Teresa said, competing for favorite chef. Yes. Drop the link, girl. Drop the link. Oh, see the love. Jay said, let's stack it. Hanging around you, Kelly, helped me get prepared and it's keeping me in the fight. Oh, Tom, don't make me quiet. Listen, while you're talking about it, I won't say the person's name, but they're on the live with us. They sent me an email. If you're on my email list, if you're not, you go to attractopportunities.com, and when you put your email in, you'll be on the list. But I sent out last week, I sent what I say, y'all? I sent how I revamped the program that I had. I said I came back better, and so everything around me, I wanted to be better as well. So I got this email from this very nice person, and they shared with me in so many words that I want to partner with you in my career. I want to partner, and they shared some things that was going on. And right now, timing is just not the best right now for them. And I get it. And I share with them and I said, just hold on, because I'm gonna just hold on. So I'm telling you, and you know who you are. I dropped the link earlier if you weren't in here, and I created this Patreon. And the reason why I did that is because before I just had the program, and it was a premium program, right? I want to be able to meet people where they are, and I want to be able to give value to people, not just once a week. And I believe as a community, like we're doing for T right now, right? She could have came on when it first started, right? If we're on a Monday or on a Sunday and say, hey, y'all, go vote for me, drop the link. So I wanted us to have a community outside of a platform on a YouTube or a Facebook that we could call our own. So inside of the Patreon, that's a community that we can call our own. I kept it low. Don't worry about it. $5 not going to make me rich. Don't worry about it. It's free right now. Go join. It's free for 7 days. Go in there. Go look around. I dropped a lot of good stuff in there. Go look around and y'all come back and give me feedback and let me know what you think. If you like it, you can stay. If not, it's cool. But I wanted to create a space for us, right? And it's hard for me sometimes, and you can probably tell. I have so much in here that I want to talk about that I know that we only have time, and I want to be respectful of your time, especially on, work nights and things like that. There's so much, and there's so much information out there. And this will be a place where I can put all of that and you can go through it at your leisure, right? And these are things that will help you if you're in a job search, if you're transitioning your career. Of course, if you want to talk, I have the career chat. Let me drop that link as well. So I've talked to a few of you all. It's like a GPS system, right? Just for guidance, right? And a lot of times we know that we have something and we want to do something. We may not know exactly what that is. And so getting guidance sometimes will help, right? So I will drop that. And I'm excited about sharing everything in my head because I have a lot to share. I'm excited for you all. Excited. Okay, this is the career chat. I'm going to drop that. And what we think about our wage compression. Are we going to advocate like Elizabeth did? Are we going to write our book? Are we going to go to our managers and our directors and our senior leadership? Are we going to talk to them about our salaries? If we're not going to do that, like Derek said, he's always out there looking, right? You should know what the market is saying about what you do. It's very important, you all. It's very important. When I came back at the top of this month, when I sent an email, I don't believe in fear mongering or saying things, to be scary or to prompt anything. You know what I mean? But one thing I said was, I want to provide solutions because, and if you go back to the email, you'll see, I just put one sentence on purpose. I said, because right now there's a sense of urgency out there that we have to be mindful of. And what's happening, you all, because I talked to a lot of you all, my fear is, and this is my fear, that we're going about our careers as normal. And there are things that's happening behind the scenes that we have to be mindful of. So when we share, like I do this every Tuesday for free, this is just us sharing, and all of us share. You all teach me as well. But we have to start making some important moves, and we have to start taking action on things, you all. We have to know, and most importantly, one of those Patreon groups is called Toolkit. Y'all know we talk about that, being prepared. I'll never forget the picture of the guy. He worked at Fannie Mae back in 2008, 2009, when they had the bank crash. It was a Black man in Chicago, and he was all over Newsweek. He was all over USA Today. He was on the Time. He was all over. He had a box in his hand. He was walking down the street. Black man, big Black man. Because he lost his job. Because he thought he was our fathers or our grandfathers, right? He never thought that would happen. Because we don't think like that. That was 2008, 2009. I was sitting on the road, Mansell Road here in Atlanta, in Alpharetta, Georgia, 2011, sitting on the road, windows down. And there was a white guy in a pickup truck in the other lane. He rolled down his window. He said, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah, you okay?" This was 9/11. And in 2020, we never thought that the world would be completely shut down. So it's not a matter of if something else happens, y'all. It's just when. So I say that every time we get together, I never want you to leave not knowing something or learning something, because I learn from you all. You guys keep me on my toes with the questions, right? So it's not a matter of if something else is going to happen. It's just when. And the best we can do, you all, is to be prepared. You should be able to reach into your toolkit or into your box, or if, I know some of you take notes, and say, you know what? I need to see what's out there in the market. I just need to look. If there's another title out there, let me just see. Because maybe I take that title and then maybe I need to do a Google class real quick and get a certification. Because what it's going to do is going to take you down a path just to keep you relevant. Keep you on top of your game. Because I know some of us are just getting up, going to work, doing our job, coming home. Oh, we get ready to go on vacation. We get ready to have, time with the family barbecue. I took my PTO. I'm going to take some time off and I'm going to go back to work. Things changing, y'all, and they're changing fast. They're changing fast. I'm doing my best to give you what I have, everything that I have. Y'all know the saying, I can lead you to the water. I can lead you. But you gotta just be prepared for anything, y'all. I'll never, like my grandmother or my grandfather say, shuck and jive, y'all. That ain't y'all know me by now. Y'all know me by now. Jay said, yeah. Timmy said, yeah. You're the best. Your spirit is about positivity and success for those you come in contact with. Bless you and bless those in the community. Oh, thank you, Jay. Y'all my people. Like, yeah, y'all my folks. Derek said, from the 4 interviews I had last week, I received 2. Oh my gosh! Why you wait? Oh my gosh, Derek, that's amazing. That's amazing. An immediate written offer and a contract across the country for my startup business. Oh, Derek, that's amazing. That's incredible. Congratulations. And that was the week before when you said you had 3, right? 3 interviews. That's amazing. That's amazing. Congrats. Now, don't forget about us now when you traipsing all over town and stuff. Oh my gosh. There you go. Elizabeth said, don't live above your means was advice I got in the 80s when I worked at Lockheed Martin. Yeah, I should have gotten that early on, Elizabeth. I came to Atlanta trying to be like the Joneses. I saw everybody with, try to do the most, and God had to sit my tail down. I learned my lesson. I appreciate you just for making feel valued and not just tolerated in this world. You all are valuable. You're leaders. Like, there's people watching you, and I know that you all have families and people that count on you, and I don't take for granted that we spend time together. And it's important to me that you all, you get something out of it, because you don't have to spend time here. I get it. I know there's a lot of people and a lot of information, but there's people that resonate with people. You know what I mean? Like, I know y'all like me, and I'm like y'all. I know that. Darlene, thank you, Kelly. You're the best. I love the information. Oh, thank you, Darlene. See, look at our community. That makes me happy. I love you all. Don't eat too much. Who's cooking? What we cooking for the 4th? It's on a Tuesday, y'all. So we're gonna meet. Is the fireworks the weekend or the Tuesday? I was trying to look, because we can do it on Wednesday. What y'all think? Hugh, I'm gonna hang up. If you want to come over to YouTube, I'm gonna hang up because my battery's gonna go down. What y'all think? Are they gonna do the fireworks on the Tuesday? Because typically they would do it on the weekend if the 4th was, because last year was on a Monday, right? If the 4th is on a weekday. You're welcome. You're so welcome, Lady Lo. So we can do on Wednesday. That's what I was thinking, because I know y'all be at, with family and fireworks or next Tuesday. We can do Wednesday. Or y'all think we should just keep Tuesday? Because I don't know. Are they doing it on? It's on Tuesday? Okay. I thought so. I know it's on Tuesday here as well. my younger brother and I say to each other, we got to finish strong. That's it. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. That's it. Okay, so we're going to do Wednesday, y'all, okay? We'll be back next Wednesday. And yeah, y'all eat good. Enjoy your families. Love on them hard. Love on them really, really hard. I love y'all. Stay safe. Make it a great rest of your week. And I'll see you next week. Have a good holiday. Make sure you rest. Make sure you rest. Rest your mind. Bye, y'all. Have a good week. Bye.